Redevelopment Commission of September 4th, 2019 is now called to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Here.
Commissioner King.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Mr. Buggs.
Here.
Let it be noted that Pastor Johnson and Commissioner Joyner are absent at this time of the meeting.
With 3 voting members present, we do have a quorum to conduct business for the Redevelopment Commission today. Okay. Sorry. All right, item number 3. Certification of record of executive session held September 4th, 2019. I hereby certify that nothing has been discussed in the executive session held immediately before this open meeting except those items specified in the notice. May I have a motion for the certification of the record?
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Item number 4, acceptance and approval of minutes of regular meeting held August 7th, 2019. What's your pleasure?
I'd like to move to accept the minutes.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Item number 5, claims list of September 4th, 2019. This has been previously approved by the director. Give an overview, please.
In the 101 General Fund, claims in the amount of $3,928.75. In the 229 Unsafe Building Fund, $38,750. In the 474 Non-Reverting Fund, $880,276.32. And in Demolition Fund, totaling the amount of $192.72. And in the 474 Non-Reverting Fund, you'll see a very large number there that would be atypical. That is actually grant funds that we have received from both the RDA and DDA in regards to the Buckington Harbor Road project, and those where the majority of the $880,000 was paid to get to.
Board's heard an overview. What's the board's pleasure?
Move to accept.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Item number 6, special claims list of September 4th, 2019, which has been previously approved by the director. May you have the opening, please?
Sure. In the 823 Consolidated TIP Fund, the amounts of $10,636, and in the 826 Lakefront TIP Fund is $75,228.29.
Move to accept.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not made. Roll call, please. I'm sorry about, roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Item number 7, receive and open bids number 2019-HHF 11 to demolish various structures in the city of Gary, Indiana. Is there anyone present that wants to submit a bid? If there being no response, may I have a motion to close to receive bids?
I move to close the bids.
So moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not made. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
How many did we receive?
6 bids.
Good. Wow.
May I have a motion to open the bids that were received?
I move to open the bids.
Second.
So moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not made. Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Commissioner Hall.
Where it would be in here?
Yeah. Those things.
Yes, 73 properties. Is that the?
Yeah, that's okay, so this is
This is
what
it?
you're looking for.
Okay.
So group 1, group 2,
Alright.
group 3, is that how the bid was?
Carol?
So it's 73 structures, is it in 3 different groups?
It's in 5 different groups.
5 different groups.
Okay.
Alright, so that's what you're supposed to do.
All right. So, group 1, 144,500. Group 2, 106,700. Group 3, 84,700. Group 4, 86,900. And group 5, 92,400. 92,400. This is Construction Services, Inc. And we have a bid of Group 1, 179,640. Group 2, 133,480. Group 3, 129,610. Group 4, 116,310. And Group 5, 123,510. Bid is from Acton Contracting LLC. And we have for Group 1, 149,775. Group 2, 132,815. Group 3, 111,830. Group 4, 115,450. And Group 5, 126,690. Active construction. This is Avatar with a double A and Inc. Good. So Group 1, 149,000. Group 2, 132,700. Group 3, 99,800. Group 4, 99,800. And Group 5, 116,400. This bid is from J.M. Industrial Services, Inc. And we have Group 1, 107,790. Group 2, 137,425. Group 3, 107,325. Group 4, 112,950. And Group 5, 118,575. Final bid is from DNR Site Services. We have for Group 1, 160,467. Group 2, 246,500. Group 3, 188,500. Group 4, 203,000. And Group 5, 217,500. That's all the bids.
We have a motion for recess.
Move to recess.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a second, just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we open the bid, yeah, we're good. Now I'm just in recess. Okay, so you.
Move to recess.
Okay.
I'll say.
It's been moved properly
Yes,
second.
yes,
We take a
yes.
recess at this time in the meeting. May I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we're taking a recess at this time. It is 4:22. Okay. May I have a motion to reconvene the meeting?
So moved.
We will do properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Meeting is reconvened at 4:44. Item number 10, award bid number 2019, HHF 11, Partnership Funds, to demolish various structures in the city of Gary, Indiana, and request for approval of resolution number 6039, a resolution approving and authorizing demolition agreements for bid number 2019-HHF 11 with various contractors to demolish structures in the city of Gary, Indiana. Maybe have an overview.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President. We have had an opportunity to examine the bids on all the properties. As you know, the standard is the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder. For Group 1, G&M Industrial is a successful bidder. For Group 2 through 5, Gary Materials was the successful bidder. There's now a question of whether or not they can do all those parcels within the time frame that we're asking for this. Thereby, we want to withhold making an award for those 2 through 5. Have a special meeting in 48 hours, give notice officially at this meeting, and make the award after some conversations with the bidders to determine whether or not they can meet our time frame. I think that that's what it's about.
The board has heard an overview at this time.
So a motion to award as to Group 1, a motion to defer as to Groups 2 through 5 would be appropriate. And then announce a special meeting and date, time, place, so on and so on.
I move to accept the bid for Group 1.
Second.
Been properly second. Any questions or comments? Not in roll call?
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I move to defer the awarding of bids for Groups 2 through 5.
Second.
Been properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And one more motion.
I would ask the board to hold a special meeting on Monday, September 9th at 4 p.m. here in the redevelopment offices.
I move to schedule a special meeting for September 9th at 4 p.m. in the hall.
Second.
It's Then moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not make a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 11, request for approval of resolution number 6052, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving an interlocal agreement with the City of Gary regarding the installation of a statue at City Hall. An overview, please.
Sure. Resolution is for an interlocal between the City of Gary and the Gary Redevelopment Commission in regards to the installation of former Mayor Hatcher's statue. As the board was aware, we had previously contributed around $65,000 for the mayor's statue. Now this is a short-term agreement between the city and the Redevelopment Commission for approximately $40,000 that will be repaid once the proceeds are received from the U.S. Steel agreement with the city. So this is in regards to as well Resolution 6053 to engage Pantier Corporation to execute the contract to create the base for that statue and move forward in a timely manner due to the timing of when the statue will be available for placement.
Board's been overview. What's the board's pleasure?
I move to accept resolution 6052 to do both at once, and 6053.
Second.
Then moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not make a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 13, request for approval of resolution number 6040, a resolution approving and authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission and the Gary Chicago International Airport Authority for its runway expansion project for the sale of property located at 300 North Mount Street. You have an overview, please.
Sure. We have Dan Vicari here speaking on behalf of the airport to give a brief synopsis of the agreement.
Sure, this is a piece of property that is required by the airport authority under its obligations with all three railroads, Class 1 railroads that we're negotiating with, the CN, the NS, and the CSX railroads. This particular 3/10 of an acre sliver of property is required for a movement that we agreed to facilitate for the NS and their operations in order to enable them to get their rail cars into Kirkyard, which is the rail classification station just east of this property. We've been working at this for quite some time. There's been property ownership changes. It's currently owned by the Redevelopment Commission, and the paperwork we have before you today is for that transaction.
And this is also an accompanying document, 6041 is the MOU between the RC and INDOT for the 12-20 split, so you might as well cover that as well.
1220 split. Which one are we on now?
6041 number 14.
Sure. I know what it's about. I'm making sure that it is what it is.
Number 14.
Right, so this is INDOT's realignment of US 1220. The current split just east of, just west of Clay Street along US 1220. And when I said split, where US 12/20 becomes US dedicated 12, US dedicated 20. In order to accommodate the South Shore Railroad's realignment to enable them to have an elevated train platform just west of Lake Street, the section of US 12 generally east of Clay needs to be vacated by INDOT. In order now for traffic to continue east along 1220 and then redirect that alignment back to US 12, this memorandum of understanding is necessary in order to accomplish that with INDOT.
So two separate items, but since Dan was up, obviously these are not coupled, so I'd ask the board vote separately on them.
All right, any requesting two different motions, sir.
Move to accept resolution 6040.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have a question / comment on 6041. It reads, transfer of certain properties to the airport. Should this read to EDOT for the U.S. Gulf County?
Yeah, and the, where,
6041.
Oh, okay. gotcha.
Whereas.
Yeah, it should be.
yes.
I figure
Not
out
a whereas, section 6 area, we should say in that way.
So I move to accept resolution 6041 with the change noted at the inbox and the
Second.
So moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
airport. Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Actually, the end of that sentence also needs changes.
Okay.
Scrivener's error.
Yeah, scribbling.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I would just read, Carol.
Item number 15, are you ready on 15?
Yes.
Item number 15, request for approval of resolution number 6042. A resolution approving and authorizing the award and transfer of property to the Homeless Foundation, a nonprofit organization for the properties located at 1520 Taney Street, 1528 Taney Place, and 1538 Taney Street, Gary, Indiana, related to the City of Gary's side lot program. Give an overview, please.
Sure. Carol Purville, my deputy director, will give an update on that. Go on up, Carol.
Okay, for the sidewalks, we are, in the process of, continuously doing our sidewalk program to, continuously do blight out the neighborhoods, and that is so that we can give the lots over to the neighboring, homeowners, so that we can knock down weeds and everything within the areas and throughout the city of Gary. And that's to donate the lots to the neighboring homeowner so that they can put the property back on the tax roll. Therefore, we can take the properties out of the redevelopment commission's name, give it to the homeowner so that they can, take care of the property and put it back onto the tax roll.
Thank you. Board heard an overview, what's the board's pleasure?
I move to accept resolution 6042.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 16, request for approval of resolution number 6043, resolution approving and authorizing the award and transfer of property to Clayton and Manette Moore for the property located at 3965 Tyler Street in America, India, for the property located at 25th Place in Arizona, related to the City of Gary's side lot program.
I move to accept resolution 6042. I'm sorry.
Carol, quick overview for, the 6043 side lot.
Okay, that's also, another side lot also, that's, property that we have also throughout the city of Gary for, neighboring, homeowners to also put the property back on tax roll so that it can be maintained and, taking blight, the elimination out of the, different neighborhoods, and also to, make the neighborhood look, nice again, and to put the property back onto tax rolls, and get it out of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission's hands.
Board's heard an overview, what's the board's pleasure?
I just have a question. Are either of the homeowners here?
No, they're not.
Then I move to accept resolution 6043.
Moved and properly second, are there any questions or comments? Not there, roll call please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 17, request for approval of resolution number 6044, resolution approving and authorizing acceptance of real properties from the city of Gary for properties located at 3650 through 62 Broadway, 3661 through 63 Broadway, 3633 through 35 Broadway, 669 Virginia Street, 667 Virginia Street, 610 Carolina Street, 1723 Jefferson Street, 1737 Jefferson Street, 1736 Washington Street, 1708 Washington Street, 1700 Washington Street, 1824 through 26 Washington Street, 7551 West 9th, Approximate Avenue.
That's what it is.
7445 West 9th, Approximate Avenue, and 7535 West 9th Avenue, located in the city of Gary, Indiana.
Sure. Staff is requesting that the board accept these. Earlier today, Carol went to the Board of Works and they had agreed to transfer these over to the Redevelopment Commission for redevelopment purposes. You'll notice some of these will pop up later in the agenda as far as RFPs that we're requesting to be placed out. They are for future redevelopment opportunities and consolidation of properties of both city and redevelopment. And as per our memorandum of understanding with the city of Gary, any of these properties that are eventually sold by the Redevelopment Commission are subject to the 80-20 split as per the agreement between the city and the Redevelopment Commission.
The Schedule A doesn't include the last two properties within that description. All the 9th Street properties. The 9th, APPR was in there?
Approximately. Yeah.
Okay.
It has
But
three
anyway,
numbers.
Yeah.
So those three are not listed on the Schedule A of the resolution. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll update the Schedule A to include those three properties.
Subject to that inclusion, I move to accept resolution 1644.
Second.
Moved and properly second, are there any questions or comments? The roll call please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Item number 18, request for approval of resolution number 6045, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional service contract with Neavia, thank you, Wilson, to provide planning and administrative support for the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission, focusing on downtown revitalization and industrial redevelopment.
Sure.
Give it over to you.
Neavia has been a key member of our staff, and her contract has expired, and we wanted to make sure that we keep her working. So this is an extension to November 1st of this year, and a contract not to exceed $4,000.
What's her,
I move to accept resolution number 6045.
Second.
moved and properly second, are there any questions or comments? Not then, roll call please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 19, request for approval of resolution number 6046, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services contract with Saul Carlos, project management and planning support. Over to you, please.
Sure. The contract amount is a not to exceed $14,150 per hour, and will expire December 31st, 2019. This is an extension of the contract for Joe Van Dyke in regard to his overall project management with the comprehensive plan, as well as finishing up some projects that predate the current director at the request of the mayor's office to ensure that we can get these done. And also, since we've had our director of planning resign and take a new position, there's a tremendous amount of work between planning, redevelopment, economic development that need to be completed before the end of the year. This is our ability to keep work done while not committing long-term to any other, kind of financial responsibilities.
Thank you. What's your overview? What's the first pleasure?
I move to accept resolution number 6046.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 20, request for approval of resolution number 6047, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the execution of Michael Citro professional service consulting contract to provide planning and zoning support.
Sure. As you're aware, Mike currently has a contract to do economic development, redevelopment work, specifically in the Buckingham Harbor area. He is also a skilled and trained planner, and in regards to some of the work that Joe's doing, this is a contract for Mike to work approximately 5 hours directly in planning office work between now and the end of the year. The contract expires December 31st in a not-to-exceed amount of $5,000 on an hourly basis. And this is being paid out of the 101 general fund, out of the professional services, so it's no TIF district funds or anything of that nature, but city general funds to provide planning assistance in that regard.
I move to accept resolution number 6047.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 21, request for approval of resolution number 6049, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a real property purchase agreement between the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission and Jennifer Taylor Henderson for the property located at 6128 East 6th Place, Gary, Indiana.
Sure. As you guys are aware, we had put this out for RFP several months back. We have solicited offers and negotiated with the only person that is interested. I've reached out to realtors as well to determine if there's any investors or anyone else in the time frame that we have had to negotiate. Jennifer Taylor Henderson is the only one that has shown a substantial interest. So we've come to an agreement to sell the property as is for $1,000 with the requirement that she complete certain repairs and get the house 100% enclosed within 120 days of the transfer of the property. She's also required to, within 30 days, pull all the applicable permits as well as maintain the exterior appearance and of the landscaping on the property. There's substantial kind of clawbacks and requirements, and we require for her to have $20,000 in escrow or a form that's acceptable to Gilbert to ensure that the improvements are complete. So I think this is an opportunity, even though it's less than we would hope to get for a property. However, we are getting back to tax productive status, and the home will be repaired rather than continue to be in disrepair, whereas we have to spend $7,000 to $10,000 to demolish it in a couple of years and maybe get less money for the property than we are now. So I would recommend the board approve the resolution, and we can then finalize the purchase agreement and transfer the property.
I move to accept resolution number 6049.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? None, we have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 22, request for approval of resolution number 6050, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services contract with Ramey and Associates to provide professional services for comprehensive planning services.
Yes. Sure. As you're aware, the comprehensive plan, which the board and the Redevelopment Commission have funded primarily up until this point, and after several years of working through it, doing community outreach, visiting with all the different areas of the city, various departments, is nearing completion. And in order to finalize that, extending the contract of Remy and Associates to complete the final component of the comprehensive plan in association with what Joe has been working on to get it in final form, get all of the exhibits completed, update all of the language, and get it in a form that is presentable to be accepted by the Planning Commission as well as the City Council. We ask that they have a contract not to exceed $20,000 that will expire December 31st, 2019.
I move to accept resolution number 6050.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in the roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 23, request for approval of resolution number 6051, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving a grant for the facade improvement rebate program for Vibrations Health, Wellness, and Juice Bar located at 430 South Lake Street. And no please.
Sure. This is the second facade grant I believe that the board has seen in front of it. Vibrations is off of Lake Street in Miller, and they are requesting $2,102.88, which is 50% of the funds allocated for the improvements on the facade of the property. This is the next step in the process. If the board approves this, it'll then be granted through the RDA, and we can pay out to the individual property owner. And as you guys are aware, we have a substantial amount of money available for the facade grant from the GUA settlement, and this is something that is available to folks along certain corridors within the city, and we're actually working on updating that to allow it along the Gary public transportation routes throughout the city to allow for more businesses to be eligible for this facade grant, so that we hope to kind of ramp up our outreach for that, as well as kind of our marketing, so that the businesses that can use it will be able to use it and have access to it. So I would recommend the board approve this, and we tell all the business owners that that are on the eligible routes.
Board's pleasure.
I just have a comment first. The Vibrations is like a good anchor at the northern part of the Lake Street project, and so I'm very happy to see that they're even making it a nicer slot. I move that we accept resolution 6051.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any comments or questions? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 24, request for approval to advertise RFP for Lake Sandy Joe and scattered sites for sale. Please give an overview, please.
Yes. So this is a request to put out for proposal Lake Sandy Joe and 39 additional properties that are scattered in the area between Clark and Burr. We believe that there is a substantial interest in that area for some redevelopment opportunities, and we intend to put that out to see who would be interested. This would be for sale or lease. We're waiting on the appraisals currently, and once we have those, we'll follow state statute as far as RFP requirements for the disposal of those properties.
Request the approval. Just approval to advertise the RFP.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
Commissioner King?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 25, request for approval to advertise RFP to sell property located at 3662 Broadway, 3658 Broadway, and 3650 through 52 Broadway. Give an overview, please.
Yes. A request has been made to make these parcels available for public bid. So we are also waiting. Once we have the values on those, we'll place those in the appropriate paper for out for RFP to allow for commercial business, specifically a restaurant along the Broadway corridor there on 36th and Broadway.
I move to accept or to approve the advertising for the RFP.
Second.
It's been moved properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 26, request for approval to advertise RFP, advertise RFP to sell or lease property located at 7201 West 9th Avenue and 7501 West 9th Avenue, 7551 West 9th Approximate Avenue, 7445 West 9th Approximate Avenue, and 7535 West 9th Avenue located in the city of Gary, Indiana.
Yes, so a request has been made to place these out for public bid. We are waiting for the updated values as well. This will be for, this is approximately at 9th and Klein Avenue on the west side of the city for industrial uses similar to the adjacent properties. And I just asked the board to allow for them to be placed out for public bid.
I move to approve the advertising RFP.
Second.
Moving properly second, are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 27, discussion by Navia?
Yeah.
Wilson, I'm gonna get it right. Wilson, staff regarding the Gary Redevelopment Preservation Tour.
Hello, my name is Navia Wilson. I just wanted to inform everyone of this year's Gary Preservation Tour hosted by Redevelopment and Planning and Zoning. We're honoring some of our sites such as Memorial Auditorium, Gary Lake Courthouse, City Church, Knights of Columbus Building. That's going to be September 14th and 15th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're also working in collaboration with the Decay Doubles running Gary's Love Fest. That's going to be September 14th, 11 to 6 p.m. Thank you.
Yes, and Niavia has taken over the city's coordination for that. She's done an excellent job of working with all of our partners inside the city as well as the outside of the city. Legacy Foundation is a big supporter of this as well, and just wanted to bring attention to that and invite anybody that's listening to come visit all of our beautiful architecture that we have here in downtown Gary.
Thank you. Item number 28, request for approval to modify the Gary Redevelopment Commission meeting schedule until the end of the year 2019. Overview, please.
Yes, so in order to, as you guys are aware of some of the kind of staff changes that have happened over the course of the really last 6 months, and in order to be more responsive to the public as well as to the board, we're requesting some modifications to the schedule in order to be responsive and be nimble in that regard so that we can continue to conduct business at a high level. The first order would be to move the meetings from for the rest of the year from executive session at 3 o'clock and regular meeting at 4 o'clock to executive session at 4 o'clock and regular meeting at 5 o'clock. What's that?
Okay. All right.
Is that good or bad?
Good.
All right. Well, I just want to be able to accommodate all the board members as best possible. And you have in front of your meeting schedule, I'll list them off when you have them all. So today's meeting, the 4th, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be September 25th. Then after that, October 9th, October 30th, November 20th, and December 11th. Basically, instead of every 2-week schedule, we're moving to an every 3-week schedule for the end of the year. November and December, obviously having many holidays in them, we'll have those scheduled 1 per month right now. And if we need to have, we can reevaluate at the end of October if we need to add more depending on the workload. But I thought that based on the holiday schedule, it would be the most appropriate to handle the board meetings this way for the rest of the year.
Wow.
And Jerry will be sending out a press release to the Times, the Post Tribune, as well as the Gary Crusader to give that update, and we'll also get that updated on the city's website and work with Rosa and the communications department to make sure that that's widely known.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to accept the new schedule for the remainder of this year.
Second.
We'll give a couple seconds. Are there any questions or comments? Not many roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 29, public comments on agenda items only. Does anyone wants to make a comment on agenda items only? Right here, I have a question about an address for a 25th in Arizona, number 16, 26th place in Arizona for resolution 6043. Arizona is out in the east side. So where's 2500? Is that?
Ask Linda, she can show you on the GIS.
Yeah, that's on near the expressway.
25th place.
25th place.
Yeah, it's, I mean, okay.
Like I said,
2500 west? I mean,
yeah,
39
follow up with Carol or Linda,
Place
and they can
Arizona.
show you exactly where it is on the map.
That's got to be like 60-something.
I've got a comment, Madam President. I want to contribute to the white noise at these meetings, if I may.
You don't have to.
Yeah, the thing is, white noise is actually a lot of frequencies. In other words, everybody, a lot of frequencies, and they, and because there's so many frequencies, people like this board can't hear
Mr. Nowacki.
individual comments because of the frequencies.
Mr. Nowacki.
So I would like to say this, I'd like to speak just some of the white noise that
It's not on the
would
agenda.
emanate from,
Not on the agenda.
Yeah.
Mr.
It's an
Nowacki,
agenda
Mr.
item only.
Nowacki.
that's an introduction.
No,
That's an
no,
introduction
no,
to
no,
my
no,
comments.
get to your
No.
point, please.
That's an introduction to my comments. There's a lot of items on the agenda today about the issuance of properties to the city. Great to see these properties being disposed of, put in private ownership, and a lot of transfers. Now, you've read recently about transfers requested by the Redevelopment Commission from the county.
Mr.
And
Nowacki,
instead of them being transferred to the commission, they were transferred to attorneys for the city of
Mr.
Gary.
Nowacki, if it
who
is not on the
stand to
agenda,
profit.
I'm going to ask you to leave, and I'm going to ask you to stop, because if it's not on the agenda, we're not going to discuss it, and you're not going to use this platform to push whatever agenda you're working on today.
Well, can I talk about the preservation tour? You know,
If
where,
you're going to
yeah.
talk about the preservation tour.
You know, when we
and
talk
what
about
Ms. Wilson
preservation,
discussed,
and
what
then we get an
Ms.
award,
Wilson discussed.
this is the insanity. We're talking about a preservation tour, and we get a state marker, and we put it at the Methodist Church. There is probably no single property in the city that is less preserved than the City Methodist Church. As a matter of fact, as this board may or may not know, people come from all over the world to look at the Methodist Church, not because it's preserved, but because
Thank
you
you,
have
Mr.
not
Nowacki.
preserved it.
Thank you, Mr. Nowacki.
So it's
Thank you.
insanity. Thank you.
Anybody else have a comment? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on item 15 and 16, the transfers of property, were these vacant lots that were transferred over to individuals who took care of the lots, or were there buildings on the lots?
Sidewalk program generally has, they don't have buildings on them, they're generally vacant. That's one of the.
I looked at each of these, they're all vacant.
Okay, all of them are vacant.
Yeah, the sidewalk program, we don't transfer, for the sidewalk program, we transfer vacant property.
Okay.
Because they've been maintaining those, the people that apply for them have been maintaining it. Either cutting grass or, removing, shrubs or what have you, they've been taking care of the property.
So, and the reason I had asked that, I saw there was a foundation that had asked for 15, where it was awarded. So when it comes to these type properties, as you were saying, if the individual who owns property next to this property takes care of the property for a certain amount of time, is there a specific amount of time, or
Well, you have to make sure, one of the things you have to make sure that your property tax is current, so where property you're maintaining, you have to make sure of that. And then if you've been doing that, then there's the application process that we have. And you fill it out, it comes before we check to verify to make sure you've been paying property tax, make sure you've been maintaining your property as well, or that individual's been maintaining their property as well. And we vet it and they go through the application process, and it comes before the board.
now, if someone else is taking care of a property that's not adjacent to their property, they're not eligible for trying to get this
It's gotta be
particular.
adjacent to the property that they own,
Okay.
not across the street.
Okay.
And we do encourage people to do it.
Okay, and then lastly, if anyone is interested in obtaining any of these properties, what is the process for that?
It's on the city's website.
Well, not everyone, the reason I'm asking is not everyone is technologically savvy or has access to.
We also have staff members here that work with the public.
Okay.
Any other questions? Report from our director, AJ Bidner.
Sure. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, so I'll try and keep my comments brief. I gave to each one of you the Indiana Historic Bureau Division of Indiana State Library. It's the City Church State Historic Marker that will be dedicated September 14th at 10 a.m. at the City Church. I'm sure you've all walked past the marker that's been sitting in our office. The Get It Done Landscaping has done a phenomenal job of cleaning up in and around the City Church. They've also helped secure it better than it was before, so we do not have people getting too adventurous and doing some urban exploring in the structure. They've also cleaned up in front of Memorial Auditorium in advance of that. And if you haven't gone by Memorial Auditorium, I suggest going by. They did a phenomenal job there. I just wanted to acknowledge this, let everybody know about the dedication, and it's going to be, we have a lot of really great partners that will be in downtown that weekend, so just hope you'll come out. The second part, I'm sure you guys have read a couple of the articles that have been out in the Times recently about the Redevelopment Commission's recent failed attempts to acquire properties at the Commissioner's sale. And, obviously this is a, concern for the Redevelopment Commission as we continue to try and assemble parcels to get them into a tax productive use. And one of the largest and hardest parts of that job is getting contiguous properties under single ownership and control so that anyone can do something with the property, whether it be the private sector or our public-private partnership with Mayaco, or just anyone that doesn't need, city help or intervention in that regard. So I think, in reading those articles and just understanding the, difficulty in that assemblage, wanted to, let the board know that I'm going to redouble my efforts of working with the county commissioners as well as the various elected officials, both with the city of Gary as well as at Lake County, and hopefully find a solution or an option that will allow us to kind of achieve those common goals that I know both the, county commissioners, county council, as well as, all the elected officials, not to mention the citizens of Gary and this board, want to accomplish in, redeveloping the city and getting it, in a redeveloped state that, we're not in the financial troubles that we currently are in, because we have a larger, more diverse and robust tax base. But that requires all the various entities, working together. And I know we can, we have good partners at the county. It's just kind of figuring out what that right solution is and wanting to, kind of get the board's thoughts and, on that matter, because I think this is another situation where, we need to, really look at the availability, and this is something that is more of a downstate solution, but looking at the ability to create a land bank to kind of help, with this situation. And I think that would help, kind of alleviate some of the concerns that we have generally speaking.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Attorney Gilbert King Jr.
No comments.
All right, Commissioner comments. Commissioner King,
No comment.
Commissioner Hall. I just have one. You spoke about preservation, Mr. Nowacki, and you have managed to not preserve that across the street. So when you speak about preservation, make sure you do yours first. That's all I have to say about preservation, but you opened the door.
I'm good with it.
I know you are. You've been good with it for years. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That is the problem. You're contributing to our blight issue.
I'm gonna get a state monument in front of it.
Yeah.
They can see it from the toll.
I'll get a state monument in front of it. That'll help. That'll be a big help.
Item number 33, school board representatives' comments, Mr. Butts.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, I would just like to let the citizens know an update about the school. I had a chance to go by the shall I say, open house again to Gary Career Center. And there's been a lot of myths going around about what's happening with the students. So I'm proud to say that the Gary Career Center is initiating some new, well, actually bringing them back. And these are just some of the classes: cosmetology, barbering, culinary, graphic arts, welding, CNA classes, and building and construction trades. Now, I went out there today and I spoke to some of the students, which are very, very excited about what they were doing. They're going to be coming up, and the second semester, everything should be in place. Forgot to bring with me, but they have, for example, senior citizens can get reduced prices for certain things, when the nails done, hair, or what have you. And I was especially impressed with the demonstration that the students gave today, for example, on the CNA project and the culinary. They gave me some cookies. I'm very excited that Gary School Corporation is doing something that's moving forward, especially at the Gary Career Center. Also, I had a chance to go by McCullough School. Matter of fact, I go by all of the schools, and I'm very impressed with the initiatives out there, the student morale, the staff morale. Everything moving forward is very clean and conducive to the learning environment, and I'm very proud of that. So I will give Dr. Maricas and Dr. Maricas and Deputy Superintendent Nakia Douglas kudos for, we are making some great strides in bringing Gary back. So being a school board president, a lot of people think I complain all the time, but I believe in giving credit where credit is due. We are moving positive moving forward in a positive direction. And I would just ask the student and the parents, more specifically the parents, to start supporting their children, supporting their students, and come out and be active, be a part of the community. So that's about all I had. I'd just like to give some good positive news when it's available, and the Gary's Community School Corporation is on the mend and coming back, and we want to make some great, great strides. And by the next meeting, I'll have some more good news for you. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Buggs. I will say this, that once I started at the cosmetology school, finished. So years ago, she now has her own shop. That's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, my daughter, as a matter of fact, she went there when she was in high school going to Roosevelt. She's now, well, been a licensed cosmetologist. She does it on the side. But that's when they had everything going, but now they're bringing it all back. And I'm very excited.
Glad to hear that. Item number 34. Phew, 34.
34.
Long agenda today. Agenda items for the next board meeting.
Sure, just to, reiterate, we're having a special meeting on Monday to award the lots 2 through 5 for the parts HHF 11.
All right. Item number 35, adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I have one more thing I can say real quick.
Oh,
Sure.
Okay.
We have our quarterly school board meeting, which will be September 10th at the Gary Career Center at 6 o'clock. Please come out with your ideas, and I'll give an update on about the Gary Community School Corporation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. All right, now may I have a motion?
I move to adjourn our meeting.
So moved. It's been moved and properly second that the Gary Redevelopment Commission meeting of September 4, 2019 is adjourned. And roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Hall.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Adjourned.